Hey guys, Chad here with Midlife Classic Cars. This week we're getting back on the Legend car, but what we're doing is we're going to wrap it. Finally got the wrap in, and I'm really excited to see how this car is going to look. It's got our logos and everything on it, and what we're going to have to do is to get it ready today, we've got to fix the door hinge. The bolt for the door hinge came out at Old Dominion. I haven't found one, so I've got to bolt and I got to grind it down to get that in there first. I've got a clean fender that we need to drill holes for and then get it mounted because I don't want to put my wrap on a busted fender. And then we just need to get the car scrubbed down, all the stickers off of it, get it wiped down super clean, and then get to wrapping it. I also have a dash wrap that came in. I don't know if we're going to get to that right away because I want to rearrange my cockpit a bit. And so I'm kind of saving that for a day of just redoing the cockpit. But I do have a wrap that goes across the dash that looks pretty cool. So we've got that. And then I need to get some, I don't know what they call them, like hood savers or the little black things or rings that go here so that your pins don't rattle and mess up the body, like as you can see it's doing here. So I need to get some of those, but yeah, we've got a wrap now. We're going to look official. I kind of like the old masking tape with just my number on it, but I think it's time to finally get the car wrapped. So let's get started. I'll go show you what the wrap looks like, and we'll get everything rocking and rolling. So here's the wrap. I need to give a big shout out to Studio 10 Wraps. I'll make sure to put their information below in the description, but they're who did this. I mean, it was super fast. They did exactly what I wanted. I wanted something kind of black and white so my logo would stand out. But this is what all it looks like. He even sent in some helmet stuff and just extra stuff, some social media stickers. But what I did, it came in a few days ago, and I laid it out and I put everything on it here to flatten it out because they shipped it round rolled up, and yeah, so I've just had it sitting here just trying to flatten out. It's made a huge difference. It's way flatter now. And then we turned the heat on in here, which I think helped to warm up this room and warmed up the stickers. So this is not like we have a vinyl wrap book. I'll show you in a little bit here on learning how to vinyl wrap. I'm pretty sure this is more of a sticker than a vinyl wrap. It's like a vinyl sticker. I didn't even ask what the material is made out of. But, I've seen a lot of people vinyl wrap. I've never vinyl wrapped a car, but, they kind of spray it down. They can maneuver it around. I don't think this is what this is. As a matter of fact, I don't know that I can get these sides on by myself, especially seeing how this is the first time that I'm going to do it. So I'm going to wait till my father can come up and help me with that, maybe tomorrow or later this week. But for today, like I said, we're going to get it cleaned, and then if we can get to putting some of these smaller stickers on and laying them out on the car and getting it planned out, I'd be really happy just getting that done. So this is what it looks like. Let's get in there first. Like I said, I got to fix the door and get a new fender mounted on the car before we take it back apart and then start putting all the stickers on. All right, let's get to it. So you can see right here how the bolts come out of or the pin, I should say, out of the hinge. It's still connected down there, but this one just somehow went and missed it, and I guess I launched it. And as you can see, I've got a 3/8 bolt here, and the problem is you can't really get it down in there. I mean, I kind of can, but what I need to do is trim back some of this, and then I think what a lot of people said is you ground down the head here and make this to where it's not as big, and then that way it will just slide in a little bit easier. So let's get this ground down first and see what difference that makes before we start hacking away at the body. All right, we're gonna give that a shot. So I was thinking about what to do here, and I have a locking nut for the bottom of this. But because of the head, it's actually so much tighter getting it down here through the body. I don't see this one shooting up out. I've already put it in to test it and then really had to work to get it loose. But I don't want the bolt hanging out below here, or not the bolt, the nut. Even though it's a locking nut, I realize like that's something that could fall down and then go on the track. So I really don't want a nut on the bottom of it. So that being said, I just need to get this one in here and do a rough mark and obviously mark myself, but it looks like actually right on the thread. Now I need to chop this down and shorten it and get it installed, and we'll get this part done. All right, so that's done. Now we've got that back in there. We got a little drag in here. I don't know if I could just see if I could just stomp on it. Oh, nice, nice. No more dragging, no more dragging. So nice, nice. I did also just realize it looks like I'm missing a bolt here, so I need to look into this before we start putting the wrap on. But next, let's get on this fender here and get the clean fender on the car, and that way we can drill the holes on that. So that's next. All right, we got the fresh we got the fresh fender now, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab my helmet because we're gonna be sticking up the helmet at some point too. So let's go get this mounted. Okay, I just got the fender, and I've already noticed something. So I laid the fender on it just to look at it because I noticed that this new one has a lip all the way here down the back, all the way to the front, which part of that is a mounting piece. Well, if I look at the one that's on my car on both sides, it's clearly been cut out. So I don't want to like cut it yet because I've got to really double check the rules. I hear a lot of people getting in trouble for modifying the body, and I bought my car secondhand, and I've already found a few things that I'm not sure if they were legal on the car. So I'm gonna leave it as is and get it mounted up. And luckily, none of the stickers that are gonna go on the car will affect it. And once I get verifications, I'll probably cut it out. Matter of fact, if you guys know, if you know whether or not I can cut this, let me know, because this video will probably come out before I get my final answer. And then I'll just handle this later. But if you know if I can cut that lip out, just post down in the comments, and we'll get it cut out or leave it. All right, let's get back to it. I gotta get the other fender off. Oh, look here. On this one, this back section is cut out. It looks like that too. Let's slide it on and see how it all works. Oh, it's cut out to make sure we have a gap for this here. So let me show you this bar here. Oops, dang. This bar here is in the way. So yeah, it looks like we're going to have to notch this out. I like the way this one, they left the pit of the tab here to slide under, so I might do the same, but it looks like I need to come from somewhere in here and cut all the way down. So let's do that. Okay, I think I just answered my own question here. When I went to put it on, I realized it will not clear the radiator whatsoever. As you can see here, the radiator is hitting, so you must be expected to trim it. So what I'm gonna do is mask this one off, and then just figure out a line to cut through here. If you look on this other one here, it's pretty far over. So I'm just do what I can to replicate that over here and just make the two sides even. And it looks like I am going to cut off that edge, but this time I will use masking tape and draw it out a little bit better. So let me get on that. Okay, here's where we're at. I just did a bunch of measurements, and then I taped it, and I decided I'm just going to cut the edge of the tape. So this is what I've done so far. Basically, I just cut a notch here just so I could get the fender on. I've got it bolted down there now, and got it bolted down back here. And so I'm just gonna cut these lines and try to cut straight, which I don't have the best or the most steadiest hands, but this isn't a show car, so we'll get done. I'll just practice being as clean as possible. But let me get into it, and hopefully we'll get this section done, and then we can start poking the holes in the fender. All right, guys, so this is what I've got done so far. I decided it was easier for me to cut the holes with them on the car, just to hold it rigid. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I've been drilling the holes going this way. I think I probably should have flipped the car over maybe and drilled them from the other side. I'm not sure yet. I haven't really decided what's the best method, but as you can see here, I've got 2 more holes to go. It is making a bit of a mess, but yeah, this is the best way I found to do it, just mainly because having it on the car just holds it more rigid for me when I'm trying to screw it together. But let's get 2 more holes knocked out, and then we're gonna pop this off. I've realized I have a fair amount more trimming on this that I need to do and get this sanded down, and then we'll get to moving on beyond the fender. I was surprised how long it's taken me to get this fender done. But hopefully once we get this done, we can get at removing these rear fenders off the car and then get to start cleaning the car. And that's my goal for the day, is to get cleaning the car. This is the second day from when I started on the fenders. That thing was just taking more time than I thought it would. But let's get back to it. All right, now we're down to do the final trimming. I'm realizing some things, and I'm hoping to help you guys out because this is the first time I've ever done this, and hopefully it'll get easier over time. But definitely what I'm realizing is this arch here, a lot of this is cut out, is probably to make it slide into the panel easier, because on this one you see there's a whole lot to fight to get in. So what we're going to do is we're going to trim off this section. Also, we're going to trim off this whole section, and you can see there's nothing on this one, this whole line here, and then some more up here. Just to trim off. One thing over yesterday, like I'm still wearing my mask, but I definitely went home itchy in between my fingers. So we're wearing gloves today. But yeah, that's what we're doing now. And start getting this fender closer to being finished so we can move on to more projects. Okay, I'll tell you one thing about having to do your own fenders. I know this one took me a lot of time just because it was my first time doing it, but really makes me not want to wreck another fender. I mean, I lost, like I said, it's my first time, so I lost half a day of time working on this, just trying to get it somewhat to fit and be correct. But I think I'll definitely be faster next time how to do it. But yeah, this definitely took me longer than I thought, so don't crash your fenders. Okay, now let's get to stripping all the fenders off the car and getting everything off the car so we can start getting it clean. All right, so we've got all the fenders off. The rear were not fun to do. They're held on by rivets and they're just in awkward locations, but I was able to get them off. So next is to get all the stickers off the car and kind of hose the car down and wash it and get it ready to be its final clean and prep. So I'm gonna get to that. One thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna miss my green 63. I kind of liked it. I kind of liked looking a little not put together on the track. I thought it was kind of funny, but I'm excited to get our actual logos on the car now. All right, guys, it's the next day. I'm very fortunate my father came up to help me do this. I don't think this is something I can get on the car by myself. Some of you might remember my dad from doing the car shows for about 33 years, doing the booth and everything. So if you'd ever visit Midlife Classic Cars at any of the car shows up and down the East Coast, you've probably ran into my father. Matter of fact, when some of you call and speak to us on the phone, they think they're talking to him because our voices sound the same. But we're very fortunate he was able to come up today and help me. But first of all, I want to say you can check out this book on our websites, How to Do Vinyl Wraps. This is not exactly what we're doing. The vinyl wraps are definitely something different type of media than what this is. This is more closer to a sticker, but a lot of techniques about smoothing, heating it up, and keeping it straight I have gotten from this book. So I would definitely recommend it. And especially, I've met a guy and he started a wrap business after reading this book. He wanted to get into wrapping in cars for a living and got the book from us, and he told me it's like what helped him get his wrap business up and going. So check this out, midlifeclassiccars.com. And so first up, I know we're going to spray some alcohol and wipe this down and get it really clean, and we're going to get this sticker up on the car and start from there and see how it goes. So let's get started. Hey guys, it's the next day. I wanted to spend some time with my family, so my father and I only wrapped this side of the car. It went pretty well. We're going to rotate the car, start on the other side, and now I'm going to give you more tips and tricks that I learned. There's some things that we had to figure out because I've never done this before. It's on this car or any car, so there's just some things we had to figure out. So I'm going to rotate the car around, and then we're going to get working on the other side and get to it. Okay, from doing the other side, one thing we've come to the realization is this needs to come off the sideboard. It just is extremely hard to get the wrap to lay down because it actually goes beyond the body line. So it's just better to take this off. And then also on this side, I need to fix a few things. Like this one's bowing out, so I need to push this in and put a rivet there. And this door, I need to put a rivet there. So to have all this straight and flush before we put everything on it. And I'll have to move these bolts off and everything. But yeah, so this is the next step. Get this mounted flush, get this off, and then we'll get the sticker going. All right, let's get to it. One thing I'm gonna have to be perfectly honest with you, there is no way I could have hung this side piece without having help. Very fortunate my father was able to come up from Charlotte to help me with this. So basically we just laid it out. We found this is the best way to do, laid it out and started with one corner. And I'm just gonna be peeling the paper from the back out from left to right. And we use our hands. We use a bunch of different methods. We use our hands. We had a spatula type plastic spatula tool that we used. And well, heat gun. A heat gun was a big thing because whenever we got bubbles, we were able to heat up the wrap and kind of like smooth them out. So the heat gun became very valuable in this whole process. And if it wasn't for that, I think we would have had a way more wrinkles. And also when you're going over rivets, it was nice to heat up the wrap over the rivets and be able to push around the edge to get it to lay flat. So that was what we're doing here, just getting it up. And yeah, it was challenging. It was challenging doing all this. And then to get into the part where you had to lay it flat, then you hit the creases in the car. None of the panels on this car line up perfectly. So we had to make adjustments, so there weren't any waves in it when you're a panel, like going from the side quarter panel here to the door, and just making sure it matched up properly. And then cutting it nice and smooth. You're definitely going to need a bunch of nice, clean razors. I used all types. I use just a regular razor, and I also use an X-Acto knife. I personally liked holding the razor a little bit better in my hand. But yeah, this took us a while. I mean, it took us over an hour for us being our first time and trying not to mess up. It took us about an hour to get this thing hung on the body. Next, we moved on to getting just all the other stickers put on the car. This went by so much faster than doing the side. It was just a lot of easy lining up and pushing them onto the car. Once again, we used the heat gun a lot on this one. Very fortunate in the way the wraps came like this with the pull of backing off, and then that's tacky. Then you lay it down, then pull this white film off. That really helped getting these side pieces on and other pieces on the car where it came like that. But yeah, at this point, we're just rocking and rolling, getting all the stickers done. And man, I'm really happy with the way it's starting to turn out. So at this point, it's just a matter of putting the car back together. My father was knocking out, trying to clean up this number on the top. That was probably one of the hardest pieces actually to get on the car. You would think because it's flat, it would go easy, but we ended up with a few wrinkles in it, but he did a good job getting it out. So yeah, like I said, I just got to put the car back together at this point, and it was definitely worth taking the side skirts out. I think you could have done it, but it would have made your life so much harder to do it while leaving them on. The rear fenders went on pretty easy. I went and got rivets. Make sure you get like a body style rivet or a rivet that opens up into like a Y shape. I forget the actual proper name of them, but just don't get a regular rivet. You need the body style that opens up bigger on the back end. If you know the name of them, drop me a line. Let me know. I had to go to a nut and bolt store to get them, and they actually didn't even know what they were called. So if you know the name, let me know. But yeah, now the car is getting put back together, and man, once again, I'm just so stoked. I can't get over how awesome it looks. All right, guys, I just want to show you one trick I figured out. So everyone's cars, when I see it, the fender rubs here, and you can hear it. It scrapes here and destroys your wrap or your paint. So what I found was these little chair slider things. I don't know what you call them, but they're like, I don't know. If you're an older person, you probably know what this is. You put them on the bottom of the chair so your chair doesn't drag and scrape your wood floor. So I just got a bunch of these. And so here's one here. And what I did is I just reached in here and figured out where this is going to lay and stuck it down there. And here, I'll see if I can show you guys what it looks like here. But you can see on this one, I put it on the actual body. But on the other one, I actually have more of a lip here. So on this one here, it's on the inside right here. And I'll just keep, because you see as a car going down the road, it slides and everybody's paint and wrap is destroyed here. This is my way to try to solve that. Not that that's a big deal. Like, well, we're putting on the wrap, there's some problems, we made some mistakes, but like I keep telling my father, it's just a race car and I'm gonna get wrecked. It's not like this is a show car. So more than likely these fenders are gonna have to get replaced. But here, let's do a full tour, and let me show you how the car looks. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. The guys did a great job with designing the wrap and everything. Got all my INEX logos I'm required to have over here. Got my logo, the 63. My whole theme is clearly black and white other than my logo. And so that's why everything, I had it that way. It's all black and white. I kind of like it. It kind of looks a little more old school. I do kind of miss my masking tape numbers. It looked a little redneckish, but I liked it. But this looks so much better. So the only thing I have not done is my trunk, because as you see right here, I've got a damaged corner, and I want to try to fix that first before I put the stickers on the trunk, just in case I have to get a new trunk, which I don't think I am. I think I'm going to be able to fix that. But I want to do it before I put the stickers on. And basically I have one that says 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on the throttle, and then our Midlife logo will go there. But yeah, this one's pretty done. I'm pretty happy with it. One thing I will say is you definitely have to take off the railing here. It definitely makes a huge difference when you're doing it. So you gotta take that off. And it's just a lot of finicky playing with it. It took me a while. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. When I had my race motorcycle, that was just painted. So that was actually pretty easy. I found that in some ways easier than this, other than all the sanding. But it was hard to make sure we didn't get any wrinkles. We got a little wrinkles on the numbers here, but it's not the end of the day. I'm really happy. Like, I'm really happy. And next we'll be doing, I even have a sticker for the dash. I'm gonna be redoing the whole cockpit area of this car soon to where it's better suited for what I want. And when I do that, I actually have a wrap for the dash that we're gonna put in the car. But yeah, I think this project is done. Yeah, I'm just really happy. It's just really cool to sit back and see the car look like this. So I'm extremely happy with the car and everything. But yeah, don't forget to check out midlifeclassiccars.com for all your automotive book needs, shop manuals, restoration guides. Don't forget, we always ship in books and boxes. Please, please like and subscribe. I've been doing shorts. I'm trying to do everything I can to hit the monetization level. So if you can like, subscribe, I really appreciate it. It helps out. So please like and subscribe. And check out on Facebook, on YouTube, TikTok. We're posting videos everywhere there. So check it all out. Oh, one more thing I did forget. I am thinking about putting some of those pads on the inside of this here, because this rubs here. So I am thinking about putting some pads there. But yeah, this is it. I'm happy. I'm pretty stoked. And yeah, we're gonna move on to the next project, which might be working on the interior, but also I'm gonna try to get to a practice day. We're gonna work on that and call a few tracks up and see if we can't rent the track for the day to get a practice day. But anyway, you guys have a good one. We'll see you in the next video. Tell me what you think. Tell me what I could have done better. Tell me what I did wrong, you know, and tell me what you think of it. I'm pretty proud of it, but I'm always willing to learn from you guys. So let me know what you think. Anyway, we'll see you in the next video. You have a good one, and see you in the next video again, I guess. Take care, guys.